Nestled into the Rocky Mountains where the mist rolls in lies the Stanley Hotel. It's a 140-room Georgian Revival hotel. If this feels familiar, it's because it was echoed into the world by Stephen King, and he based his movie and works, The Shining, on this very hotel. But long before Stephen King dreamt of haunted hallways and whispering madness, the Stanley Hotel already had a pulse of its own. The tragedies that happened within these walls left a mark on its own, still to this day. Before we understand what's happening now, we must go back in history. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of the Stanley Hotel. Freeland Oscar Stanley built its grand resort in 1909. When he built it, he imagined laughter and light. He built it for upper-class Easterners, and he wanted it as a health retreat for people that suffered illnesses, tuberculosis to be specific. He wanted a sanctuary for the refined. It was said to be a place where illness would be cured by the mountain fresh air. But the hotel's foundation was laid upon something far darker. Locals spoke of ancient land and of whispering voices in the wind. From the very first moment that guests arrived, oddities began. Music would drift through empty ballrooms, and footsteps would echo down empty halls. Guests would hear footsteps echoing in the staircase behind them, and they'd fucking turn around and find out nobody was there. They'd smell sweet floral perfume that hung in the air, just to have it disappear moments later. Every haunted place has a heart, and at the Stanley Hotel, this is room 217. Let's go back to 1911, where tragedy struck. A storm swept through Estes Park, Colorado, and lightning had struck the hotel and led an explosion in this very room. The maid ended up getting badly injured, and somehow miraculously she didn't die. She survived, but when she came back to work, she was quiet and pale. She would die a couple of years later, and her spirit is still seen lingering around this hotel room. Guests who stay in room 217 report that their luggage mysteriously unpacks itself. Just imagine, you guys, you leave the room for a quick second, you come back and your luggage is fucking unpacked, like shirts unfolded, like everything's out of the luggage. This happened many of times in this room. The lights would flicker off and on in the dead of night, and blankets would tuck in around the guests as if somebody is tucking them in at night. How fucking terrifying is that, you guys? Those who thank the prior maid, Elizabeth Wilson, will feel a warm sensation and a friendly presence. But those who disrespect and provoke her will experience really bad things. When Stephen King and his wife stayed here in this hotel, it was really dead. It was really empty. He dreamt his son was running through endless corridors, getting chased by a hissing hose calling his name. He woke up gasping for air, and this is how The Shining was born. There are plenty of other sightings in this hotel, and we're only going to go over a couple because I could literally write a book on this fucking hotel. But we don't have all day, so I'm going to break down some of the most common and popular ghost sightings and paranormal activity around this hotel. In the music room, guests report hearing the piano go off by itself, and they say that Flora Stanley is the pianist. She is the wife of the hotel's founder, and she is seen drifting along this music room, playing music when nobody is there. How absolutely chilling is that, you guys? And there is the ghost of Paul, and he was a former maintenance worker, and after hours, guests would report seeing him in the halls carrying on conversation with him, just to find out that this man is dead and he's no longer living or alive. Just imagine, you guys, this has been also reported many times. And then there's haunted room 407, where the spirit of Lord Dunraven is said to haunt this room, and they feel his presence and smell cherry tobacco lingering in the air when he's around. And ladies, you have to stay clear of room 401, because that is where an unfriendly male spirit is known to harass women in the closet of that hotel room. So if you're gonna fucking stay there, don't stay in that room, whatever you do, because you might get groped by a ghost. If you take a ghost tour, they'll mention Lucy, and they commonly see this girl having a lollipop in her hand. There's also a young homeless woman that is said to live in the basement of the concert hall. Even now, guests speak of this laughter coming through the ballroom, especially when the lights go out, of mirrors that seem to breathe, and of cold drafts that smell faintly like roses and musk. The Stanley Hotel is very much alive to this day. This hotel is only for the brave. If you are cautious or if you cannot handle it, do not stay at the Stanley Hotel, because if you do, you have a damn good chance of meeting one of these ghosts. Stanley Hotel doesn't feel abandoned, it feels aware. It is like the very walls have its own presence. Some say that it's haunted by the ghosts of the dead, but others whisper it's haunted by the stories we keep telling, until they start telling us. If you ever find yourself beneath the watchful windows of the Stanley Hotel, remember this: the Stanley Hotel isn't just a setting from fiction. It's a story that is still unfolding. Would you dare stay the night in room 217? Would you even dare stay the night at the Stanley Hotel at all? I would love to know your thoughts and your comments in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful day. Make sure you smash that like button and you follow me so you don't miss any future spooky videos I have in store for you guys. If you are listening to this on audio podcast on any of your podcast platforms, then make sure you head over to YouTube so you can watch this whole entire video. And if you want the audio version and you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, then head over and find the podcast so you can listen to me on the go. I love you guys so much, Spooky Fam. Thank you so much for being here today. Sorry this was a little bit rushing. I already had done this episode before and it erased on me. So I just spent an hour of my time editing and everything, and I was almost to post it when it disappeared. So that fucking sucks for me. But thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.